Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here, Master Herbalist. Well, what do you think this is? Well, it's liquid, it's kind of thick and viscous. Doesn't really have, no, it really has a hmm, freshness, kind of maybe a little bit of green scent to it. Oh, this is olive oil. And I want to talk about added oils today because I get a lot of questions about that. And it really is a challenge because a lot of people are using lots of oil, and I think it is it's one thing that we need to really cut back on because we now know, and absolutely positively, we have the scientific facts that every time we take in an oil, or any kind of fat, basically, it surrounds each cell and it doesn't allow insulin to get in, and we start insulin resistance. And that's why, a whole foods, plant based diet, and my lifestyle, my diet in general, helps to get rid of diabetes and to prevent it in general. And you know why? Because it's very, very low in fat, and that's and high in lots of plants, and this is really important. Fruits and veggies; those are the main things, and we try to not eliminate totally, but to minimize the fats that we have going on. And we thought at one time we thought oils were good for us, but there are lots and lots of calories. You have 1 teaspoon of carbs, like a rice or something. Eh, Fat, you have 1 teaspoon of fat, like olive oil. It's about 4 times the calories of the rice. So, wow, pretty. It really adds up really fast. And so we really need to eat whole foods. You know what I mean? A lot of people ask about coconut oil. Well, coconut oils are okay, but it really is a kind of a in the middle there. It has some saturated fat also, and it will clog up arteries. Also, use it to a minimum. When I'm browning things, I use uh, a non-stick skillet or a non-stick pan, which is one of the good ones, which are stone or uh, one of the non-sticks that are not toxic in any way. And they have a lot of good ones nowadays. You don't have to pick any of that other stuff. And sometimes I spray a little oil on the nonstick surface, and just a little bit, because if you keep spraying, keep spraying, keep spraying, you end up with a teaspoon or tablespoon or half a gallon. So just a little bit is all we need, and that will help us to brown onions and garlic and things like that, and whatever we want to brown, and maybe potatoes or whatever we want to use. And so that works really well. Sometimes you don't even need that. A lot of times I just use a little bit of water in a nonstick pan and brown things that way. And so that's really a great way to go. And a lot of people ask about, salad dressings. You don't need that oil in the salad dressings either. A lot of people drench their salad with salad dressing, what I mean, and a lot of fat in that. And so we need to get around that. There's a lot of recipes online for whole food plant based salad dressing recipes. You just look them up, there's thousands. And one of my favorites is to take instead of using oil, is to take some kind of white bean of any kind and mix those up, including the water that's with the white beans if you cook them yourself. And I think that's a great way to go. And then freeze them, and then mix that up. And add your vinegar and your other seasonings, and you could add a little bit of xanthine gum, which is a natural thickening agent, which helps to thicken it up, maybe like an eighth of a teaspoon or less, and that'll thicken it up. And well, it's really good. Make a garlic dressing, really, really nice. Add a little parsley in there, really good. There's 1,000 different recipes, so you don't really need to use oil on the salad dressing either because it's really works well. All kinds of things. If you want to bake, yeah, there's really no reason to use oils whatsoever. Use instead of using oils. I made a maple bar the other day, which might the recipe's out there. You can look it up. Also use white beans and the oil or aquafaba. Excuse me, not the oil, but the liquid that's inside the with the white beans. That's called aquafaba, and it helps to be a egg substitute. At the same time, you get the ability to make things moist, and they came out really moist. A wonderful maple bar. You can look that up. I have it on my Facebook page also. And if you go to paulhaider.com, you'll also find my recipes there. And so we really need to allow ourselves to move to a different level of thinking about oils. It's really good to eat the whole plant. Instead of eating a lot of olive oil, let's eat the olives once in a while. Instead of eating a whole bunch of coconut, let's eat coconut oil. Let's eat a whole bunch of, a little bit of coconut in general, just the whole coconut. Or you can also buy defatted coconut also, which is even better. You know what I mean? You can use that too. You still have the coconut flavor. And you can get natural coconut flavoring, which is really good. I use that. I cook a lot. I love cooking. And I do like sweet things too. And of course, I use stevia a lot and a little bit of honey, but not too much. And also, you can use bananas. Bananas are really great for a substitute for uh, oils and baking. And I like baking. There's no doubt about that. And so you can use a lot of different plums. Work really well. Applesauce is another great one. You can add to all kinds of different recipes and for baking, everything. And so, and I don't use any wheat of any kind. Also, I use a lot of oatmeal flour. I make my own and just take organic oats and put them in my uh, heavy duty blender on my Blendtec and make flour out of them in a few seconds. So that's a great way to go, and you'll be healthier. We have an epidemic of diabetes around, and what they found in new studies that came out this year is when people go on a whole foods plant-based diet, they actually, mine is also a lifestyle, they actually prevent diabetes and the possibility that they can come off of their diabetes drugs also. There's a great a movie, excuse me, on Netflix called, what was the name of that? Plant-Based Nation, that's it. Plant-Based Nation. Watch that. That's really powerful. They go into little towns in Kentucky and they give people plant-based meals for 30 days. Some of these people were taking insulin every day and they are diabetic. And by the end of the 30 days, they're no longer taking insulin. They're no longer taking anything. And that means, with type 2 diabetes and even type 1 diabetes, that we can change and get rid of diabetes. But the biggest thing, I think, is getting rid of the oils and eating the whole foods and a lot of raw foods. Even Dr. Cousins did a study of taking people and putting them on raw food. And, he didn't have any oils in that either. And their diabetes also disappeared. It's pretty amazing. I think this is the way people ate. Of course, eating nuts. Nuts are good. Have a handful, 10, 12 a day. That's no problem whatsoever. But, having a whole bunch of walnut oil on our salad, probably not a great thing. you know, all kinds of different oils, canola oil. There's a lot of things that I don't really like about canola oil, and I don't think that canola plants are probably one of the things I would go out munching on myself. So I stay away from it in general. But you don't have to use oils in your cooking. even get a wok, and you can add just to spray the inside of a wok if you're doing stir frying, and then stir fry that way. It's just the high heat, and that's really important for searing all those different things. The searing your vegetables, and it does a great job. There's no doubt about it. It's about important also to have a really good stove with lots of heat that allows you to do that stir frying and be able to do it well. And so it's really important that we minimize. I'm not saying to get rid of them altogether. I'm saying minimize and minimize, minimize. The oils that we have in our life, a lot of people add a lot of oil. And I think that this is one of the reasons why we have more diabetes, and also we need to exercise, and that's also part of my diet, which is exercise and getting out and moving around. If we become a couch potato, sooner or later, the body is going to say, wait a minute. You're getting that big punch on your belly, and we're going to start creating, because of the fat, we're going to start working in a different direction against you. And so we need to get out and exercise every day. And I walk 5 to 7 miles, usually 7 miles every day. About 2 miles with the dogs, and then another 5 miles later. And so it's really important to keep walking. That's not just good for the body, it's good for the mind also. And it's really good for the spirit. I feel better as far as my mood and being uplifted when I walk every day. And I think that's really important that we allow ourselves to get out and keep moving. And we can find the time, even if we have to do it before we go to work or after we go to work. I can do 5 miles in about 50 minutes. I'm really moving. So it's really important. Do it outside if at all possible, but also it's important to, you can do it at the mall. At our mall, one trip around the mall is 1 mile. So it's really a great thing if it's raining or if it's hot as Hades outside, which it gets here. I can go there and walk and still be able to get my miles in. And so, about oils, I think it's really important that we minimize it. We don't need diabetes in our life. We don't need the extra fats. Like I said, eat whole foods, foods that are made to make a difference in our lives as far as nutrition goes, not just fat. Of course, we need some fats and omega 3s and that type of thing, but we get a lot of those we get all of them, in fact, from whole foods. We will get, from green leafy vegetables, and lots of veggies. Almost all of them contain a lot of different oils and a lot of omega 3s, omega 6, and different types of oils. And so we really don't have to be adding oils to our diet. But of course, things like olive oil are really great for the skin. There's no doubt about it. You put it in your soap if you're making soap, or use sesame seed oil. A lot of times what I do is take olive oil or sesame seed oil and rub that on just as I'm in the shower, and then wash off the excess, and that's really great for the skin. There's no doubt about it. And if you have hair, it's really good. We have a friend from Germany visiting, and he uses a little bit of just sesame seed oil or coconut oil or olive oil on his hair, and it always looks in great shape. And so allow yourself to move away from oils as much as possible. Like I said, try to minimize them, because we don't need diabetes in our life. And we do know that this is one of the causes. Don't need the fats as much, and we do need. If you're going to eat avocado, avocado oil is really good, but eat the avocado. Have a couple a week. There's no doubt about that. If you're going to eat olives instead of the olive oil, don't eat the olive oil. Eat the olives themselves. That's a better thing to do. Anyway, it's not like you sit and eat a whole jar at one time. That's not a great thing either. That'll put the pounds on. But have a few once in a while, and then that's the same way. So remember, minimize the oils as much as possible, and stay away from diabetes and stay healthy. And go to my website, www.paulhaider.com, PAULHAIDER.com. And up in the right hand corner beside testimonials, you'll see my diet. And scroll down, it's quite long, a lot of articles there, supporting articles there also. And it's very simple diet, and it will make you extremely healthy. I know you will become extremely healthy. So make a difference in your life. Minimize the oils. If you care to get a hold of me, all my consultations are free, and of course, it's just between you and me. And if you want to talk about spirituality or herbalism, either one is great. Yeah, if you hit show more, all my contact information is there, including my phone number and also my email and Skype address. And probably the best way is email. But also remember, I go to bed at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please call early. I'm going to go to bed before the chickens. I'm up early, so call me, you know, after 8 o'clock in the morning on the Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, I won't answer the phone when I'm asleep. And in fact, the phone rang last night, and my wife said, "The phone's ringing." He said, "I know, but I won't get up out of a sound sleep to go answer the phone. Just forgive me for that. But I need my sleep." Anyway, have a great day, and remember, if you care to make a donation, that is greatly appreciated. Two links are down below. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, I love you.